And right now on the line, it is a great pleasure to welcome back to the show clinical hypnotherapist and founder of HypnoFit, Helen Mitas. Helen.
Hi, Hedley. How you going?
Good. And just give us an update on the sort of things that you're treating at HypnoFit.
Sure. So, most people know hypnotherapists to stop smoking for weight loss, but they don't realise that really we do the most incredible work with making huge shifts happen at the subconscious level with anxiety, with depression, with all sorts of issues that, sleep even. You just mentioned sleep earlier on in the program, and of course as hypnotherapists, that's an easy one for us. And so, that's what we're there for, is to help people overcome their biggest life challenges.
Well, that's an interesting one, the sleep one. What do you do? How do you train people, or do you hypnotise them once and say every time you hear this sound you're going to fall asleep, or how does it work?
Well, the thing to remember is that your subconscious mind knows how to sleep. It's the fact that you've interfered with that process, and so what we need to do is remove that interference, because it's a natural state. So to sleep is what we all naturally do until we interfere with that state. And so what we do is we remove the reason. So, the thing is, with regards to all of these symptoms, they're symptoms. So if you have insomnia, it's a symptom of something else. And so what you need to do is find out at the subconscious level, what is that something else? And that's the problem with what's going on with society and pharmaceuticals and drugs and medication, is that they don't look for the something else. They just put a Band-Aid on the actual symptom, which, leads to a massive overprescription of medication, unnecessary medication. So I'm not anti-medication. I'm all for it where it's useful. But, there is a massive overprescription of medication where we can help people overcome their afflictions safely and naturally through their own safe and natural resources.
Right. Helen, that's interesting. How do you work with people with depression?
Okay, so depression is something I'm very passionate about, because I myself suffered from depression some 20 years ago, and that's what led me into this field. So with depression, now, apart from psychotic depression, that's the only type of depression that we won't treat, but every other type we certainly do. So what we do is we actually find out through the subconscious as to what the root cause is. And there is always a root cause. I know many people think there isn't, but there always is. And consciously the client may not know what that root cause is, but subconsciously it's always there. And so what we do is we methodically go through the process of eliminating negative emotions and limiting beliefs, because what happens is if you don't actually eliminate them, they build. And so if you experience trauma or anger or sadness during your earlier years and you haven't resolved that, the next time you experience that same emotion, it builds. It builds until there is a state of being where they cannot consciously feel as if they can move forward.
Do you find that you're using the hypnotherapy mainly to identify these blocks and problems, or are you doing the treatment under hypnotherapy as well?
Absolutely. The treatment has to happen under hypnosis, because the conscious mind, it's just not quick enough, and there's too many blocks.
What was it in your case? What was the cause of the depression in your case?
In my case, there was, it wasn't a difficult one. Basically, I had a situation where I felt stuck in my first marriage and felt as if I could not actually leave the marriage. And, with depression, it is a feeling of that you have no choice. You absolutely have no choice. You don't realise that you do have a choice, because you really feel as if there is no choice. When in fact you do, obviously you do, but the conscious mind doesn't listen to reason, and the conscious mind has way too many blocks that need to be overcome.
Now, we've got some paediatricians in the studio. Does it work on kids? Can you hypnotise kids?
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is with children is that they're wonderful candidates because they have an incredible imagination. And once you start using your imagination, you're accessing the subconscious mind. So with children, it's very, very, very simple. They get into hypnosis very quickly. And so it's a wonderful way of helping children believe that they are loved, believe that that they have a positive belief structure as their truth, as opposed to a negative belief structure. So what we do with children under 12 years of age is we actually train the parents to do it, because we prefer to do it that way, and it's called sleep talk. So we actually train the parents to do hypnosis every night for a couple of minutes, and it has the most incredible positive effect on the children.
Now, Mike here was the Essendon Club doctor. Would it work on football players where you could hypnotise them before a game and say, you are mighty, you are strong, you feel no pain?
Or are drugs better?
Just because he's the Essendon doctor there, Rob, that was uncalled for.
Well, footy players do. There's many footy players that receive hypnosis all the time. I mean, I've had racing car drivers, I've had basketballers, and I've had footballers. Of course, this is all mental training. If you're not receiving mental training, you're really left behind. So mental training is paramount.
Wow. What sort of things have you cured, in terms of, children, as a matter of, what we were discussing before? What sort of ailments?
Yeah. So first of all, I would never use the word cure.
Yeah.
So we don't cure anything or anybody. That's not something that we do. What we do is we help people overcome their own blocks and move forward safely and naturally with their own resources.
Sounds like your lawyers have been talking to you.
Abdominal pain's a big one, isn't it, for kids?
Sorry, say that again?
Tummy aches are a big one for kids that there's benefit from.
Why? Because it's psychological?
Well, in some children,
really?
Abdominal pain can be, yeah.
Really? What? Is it saying I want attention, or what? In what way?
I think there are any number of reasons, but it's a very common ailment in children where, and in many, it's a manifestation of other stuff that's going on and not necessarily a physical problem.
Right. Helen, my biggest fear of being hypnotised is that while I am under a lamp falls on your head and you are knocked unconscious, how long would I remain hypnotised while you were lying on the floor beside me?
You know that many people have that kind of same fear, and it's bizarre. So basically you're just going into a natural state, which you go into every single day. So you would wake up naturally. That's what would happen. So
I wouldn't cluck like a chicken every time I heard...
But is that 30 or 40 years later?
Thanks, Rod.
Make that happen.
Dear. Okay, so Helen, all sorts of things. I mean, what percentage of the population can be hypnotised easily?
Well, this is the thing. Everybody can be hypnotised if they want to be. Everybody can be if they want to be. Of course, if they're resistant, then they won't be, but they come to us because they want to be. There's no point coming to us if they're going to resist the process. So, about 5% of the population is highly suggestible.
Yep.
But everybody can be hypnotised.
How long does it take? Normally, how long does it take to put someone under?
Well, it can take anything from as little as 5 seconds to 15 minutes. So it depends. It depends on the person.
And where do you get your watches from?
So we don't necessarily use watches, but we can if we want to.
Okay, just if the cameras are rolling. Helen, it's great to talk to you. Give your place a plug. It's for all sorts of things: smoking, insomnia, weight loss, snake bite. No, I guess snake bite wouldn't help, would it? No,
probably not. No, don't come to us for that.
No, give your place a plug.
Okay, so it's HypnoFit. So HYPNOF. For Frank, HypnoFit, so emotionally fitness, mentally fit and physically fit. So we're here in Bulleen, so HypnoFit.
HypnoFit. Helen, great to talk to you as always.
Okay.
Keep on punching. Good on you.
All right. Speak next time.
Bye-bye.
See you later.